So I got the new Razer Viper Ultimate, and it is an amazing wireless mouse with superior, lightweight design that feels like a mouse that is geared towards fans right out of the gate. Like the original Viper, the new Viper Ultimate features same design and more durable optical switches. The thing that that you really loved or might like about the original Viper, well, it's still here. Hey guys, Brody here, and we are taking a look at the Razer Viper Ultimate, and Razer is just crushing it in the gaming peripherals. They have released so many good products here in 2019, and other companies are going to have to do some serious catching up here, especially probably in 2020 here coming up. The mouse offers 8 programmable buttons, which can be configured through their Synapse software, which I'll show you later. You have your mouse 1 and 2, scroll wheel, 2 side buttons on each side of the mouse because this mouse can be used for right or left-handed gamers. Under the mouse you have the DPI button and a power on and off switch. The Viper Razer Ultimate measurements are the same as the original Viper that was released in August of 2019. If you're not sure of the measurements, well, here you go. The Razer Viper Ultimate is 120 millimeters long. Front is 60 millimeters, rear is 66 millimeters, and at the grip 60 millimeters with a height of 38 millimeters. The weight of the Viper Ultimate is 74 grams on my scale, slightly heavier than the original Viper by 5 grams. The switches are the same purple optical switches that is in the wired version of the Viper, and also some of Razer's keyboards. The click response time is 0.2 milliseconds, which is 3 times faster than your traditional Omron switches. Now, if you're not familiar with Viper's new switches, they are basically using an infrared light beam and a shutter rather than a physical mechanism to detect and send signals. Now, you probably won't notice a huge difference, but there is. And also what is great about this is that it has less moving parts, thus less points of failure. That is why they are rated up to 70 million clicks compared to 50 million clicks on other gaming mice. The mouse has the all-new Razer Focus Plus, which is a 20K optical sensor, which gives you the mouse smart tracking that helps you calibrate the sensor on whichever surface the mouse is on, and better motion sync that helps improve sensor responsiveness. The sensor has a 99.6% resolution accuracy and tracking speed of 650 inches per second and 50G acceleration. The Ultimate relies on the hyper-speed wireless connectivity than a cable like the original, but you can still connect a micro USB cable to the Ultimate if you still want to use it by cable. Razer has stated that the hyperspeed wireless technology is 25% faster than any other gaming mouse out there. Now, I don't have any software or anything to test this out. I'll just kind of take their word on it. I have not had any issues or lag or interference with this mouse. It has been working really good. Mouse buttons are very nice, very responsive, and have a deeper click as opposed to sharper clicks compared to some other gaming mice out there that I have. Pre-travel is very little to none, and the same for the post-travel. Here is a sound test for you guys, and I'm going to throw in a couple other gaming mouse just so that you can hear the differences of the different types of clicks, etc. of each mouse. The Viper Ultimate is a $150 mouse. That is if you get it with the cool charging dock. If you want to save money, you do not have to get the charging dock. You can purchase it without it. It could be around like $130. The docking station is nice, pretty small, and has this chroma lighting circling the bottom, adding some RGB to your desk. Underneath the docking station, there is some rubber sticky, padding so that it does not move all over your desk when you're putting the mouse on the charging station. There is also a USB port built in just in case maybe your computer is not as close, maybe it is on the floor or something. You can plug the wireless 2.4 gigahertz dongle here. Speaking of the dongle, if you are traveling with a mouse, you can store the dongle in the compartment underneath the mouse. The Ultimate gives you a ridiculous battery life, best out there for sure. 70 hours of gameplay without RGB on. So if you don't have RGB on, you get 70 hours of gameplay. That is, you can play up to 10 hours a day for a whole week until it dies. That's like insane. Just throwing the mouse on the charging dock at the end of the session takes the whole battery life out of the picture. The RGB on the mouse does reflect the battery life, giving you an easy way to know if you need to charge your mouse, etc. The feet are 100% PTFE, and while these have a great slide to them on cloth or hard surfaces, and in my opinion, they are like hyperglides to me mostly. I have been using this SteelSeries cloth mouse pad, and it glides so nice across it. The edges are rounded off, which they did a great job at because it's like flush with the body, which reduces that drag, giving you a great, glide because there is no edge to it. Oh, there is a clear tape on them, so remember to take that off. Really didn't even notice it until days later. So a couple of cons, or well, not really, cons where I would not purchase it. It's just some things that I noticed the most out of the mouse. One is the design. It took me a little bit to get used to. It wasn't uncomfortable. It was just awkward for me there for a second. My palm never felt like it was, sitting on top of the palm rest, but instead felt like it was like, hovering over it. Second is the scroll wheel. It's, stiffer compared to other gaming mouse out there, so it was not as satisfying or had a good, spin to it, in my opinion at least. Third, and this is not a con, it's just an idea, and I'm not sure why a lot of companies don't do this, or they look past it. I wish they would make like a super dongle, or something like that. For example, say I have the Razer Huntsman keyboard and the Razer Viper Ultimate. I wish that I could connect both the devices to one dongle. It would, be so much easier, and also, save on USB ports. I think that's a good idea. I think a lot of companies need to do that, especially with these products and technology these days. I think we should be able to do it. All right, so let's go over the Synapse software right here. I'm not going to go too in depth with it because it's pretty straightforward. I think everybody knows how to work through a software. Basically, on off the first tab of Synapse, you can add Philips Hue bulbs if you have around your desk. All this other stuff, chroma for the RGB, and then any other devices that you have for Razer. For me right now, it's just the docking station and the Ultimate. So we'll just start with the docking station. Right here is basically showing your battery percentage here, and then also when it starts to breathe, like the RGB will start to flash different colors, letting you know where the battery is. So when it gets pretty critical, it'll start to flash red. So it's really nice identification, just to let you know where your battery's at. Set the brightness of your docking station, the RGB. I have it set at 50. I think that's pretty nice, and it's pretty darn bright. So I leave it there. Mouse is where you go to set whatever you want to bind your keys to. You can do that here. You can change it to the hypershift if you want to change that as well. And also if you want to change it if you're left or right-handed. And then up here, you can add some profiles, so you can have different types of profiles for your mouse settings if you want to do it there. Performance here is for the DPI button down below. If you change it, it'll flash these green, blues, etc. That indicates what level you are on. Typically, I'm only using these two right here. I usually use 400 for a CS:GO, 800 typically, usually around for Apex. Sometimes I just leave it. I just feel like Apex is a little bit more of a faster pace for me, so I use that. You can do your polling rate, of 1,000, or set it to wherever you want. You open your Windows if you don't want to change, any, your mouse settings for your Windows software. Lighting, you can change the brightness. I have it set just at 37 for right now, just because I don't want it to kill the battery too fast on the mouse. And also you can change it to, if the display turns off, the mouse turns off, etc. You can also change your chroma lighting, which is really cool. For example, for Apex, it's really awesome because when you get shot or anything like that, it starts to flicker red. It does really cool things I've noticed. It's pretty darn cool. Calibration, this is really cool. I just left on smart tracking. The software does everything for you on what surface you're on. It does a really good job. I have not messed with it at all. I just left it here, and it does a really good job, and I've gotten really used to it. But if you want to do a manual calibration, you can do it here. Add different types of surfaces, etc. Your power, enter sleep mode after 5 minutes, where I have it. If the mouse hasn't been touched in 5 minutes, it goes into sleep mode if everything turns off. And then the power mode, when it gets down to 15%, you see here, it goes once the device enters low power mode, the device tracking speed and sensor acceleration are automatically reduced to conserve battery life. I have it down to 15% because typically right around here is usually the battery is going to probably need to be charged anyways. I'll throw it up on the docking station. If I need to use my mouse, I'll grab maybe a different mouse to use until the Razer mouse is complete, and then I'll just start using that. Profiles, you can set different profiles for different devices, etc. there. You can connect your games, chroma lighting, etc. here. For example, this EXE is because it adjusts your chroma lighting for that. So when you sit there and play, if you're getting shot, and like I was saying earlier, it will change red, it will flicker red, and when you pick up different guns, it flickers different colors, etc. Studio is where you can change your different RGB colors for your docking station or your mouse right here. Visualizer, you can do a little bit more here. Didn't really play with it. Hue bulbs or anything like that you have, you'll find it. Then macros, pretty straightforward. There's a lot. You just got to find the time to go through it. There's a lot, but majority of the time you're going to be in your accessories, and then your mouse or maybe your keyboards, etc. that you have from Razer. So wrapping up here, the Razer Viper Ultimate offers a lot of great features. It's lightweight, great design. Again, took me a little bit to get used to, at least for me. Amazing sensor, and also spot on. The wireless technology with no issues or lag or interference that I ran into. You get the charger dock if go in that route of purchasing both. Can be used for right or left-handed gamers out there. That's a plus. Solid software, easy to use, really smooth, 100% PTFE mouse feed. It just comes down to, do you have the money to spend? If not, that is okay. There are a lot of great gaming mouse out there for around $60. Again, you are paying for a premium gaming mouse, and also way ahead of other companies out there right now. All right, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you have any questions at all, just hit me up in the comment section. I'll do my best, on getting back to you. And I'll also leave the link to the Razer, Viper Ultimate link down below in the description if you want to check it out more. Again, my name is Brody. Make sure to do all those, little YouTube buttons down below. Yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.